Hello, ladies.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our another episode of the week. And today we want to talk about something interesting, not just business part of it, not just entrepreneur. If you are an employee, you have your own boss, or anybody, housewife, house husband, you can definitely grab something valuable out of this episode. So today we are going to talk about the books that every entrepreneur should read, or I would say everybody should read. Because it's really, really awesome. Like personally, I really like books. Sometimes I like to, um, read it on the physical book. And then, but nowadays, because a lot of people are driving or they're exercising, workout, and they like to listen to audiobooks.
Mhm.
So either you're the one that likes flipping the pages, or if you are those that just like to have uh, the story told to you in the ears, you can definitely get access to all these books. So you can see on the screens, these are the top 15 books that, very powerful. Everybody should read. So I'm sure you have probably came across one of those books. And so take a screenshot of the list so that later you can actually go check that out in the library, download the audiobook, or even order a physical book from Amazon. Okay. Right. So let's kick start. If you're watching us live right now, please drop a comment in the box and let us know where you're watching from. We would love to hear from you, even
Mhm.
if you're watching our replay as well. Okay, I'm gonna kick it off, ladies. Uh, Today we can't share all of those books. There's a lot to talk about, but we're gonna share six of our favorite books that are so powerful and inspiring. And the first one, okay, let me see. Oh. Okay, the first one I want to talk about is actually um, by Jack Canfield. Okay, it's called The Success Principle. So, what this book is about is actually like a success manual. There are like more than 60 powerful principles for you to upgrade your mindset, your habits, your results. So, it's all about taking like 100% responsibility for your life and outcome, right? So, no more excuses, no blaming other people. And what I like about this book is that it breaks down into step by step from setting your clear goals to visualizing success and build your daily habits to support your vision. So it's great for anybody who are feeling maybe stuck, overwhelmed in life, not sure where to go in your next journey. This is great. And another thing I like to share is there are real life applications from this book. So after reading, you will know how to do the different steps. Like you can actually do a daily success tracker. Like every night, you write down your wins for the day, maybe one win or one area for improvement. That way you can track. And then, so as long as you're improving 1% at a time, then you will go a long way.
Mhm.
So that's my takeaway from The Success Principle by Jack Canfield. What about you, Rika?
Thank you, Wendy. I did not read that book, and yeah, I think I need to grab. I need to screenshot for that list of the books that we need to read. And I am the kind of like I don't like audio. I don't like listening. I want a physical book that I can just turn the pages because I love to smell the book in the old book. I love to go to if I have time, I'll go to library or sometimes here in the UK we have lots of charity shops that are just selling very very cheap books. So I'll just like wander around and yeah and grab some books. And one of the book that I found actually in charity shop is a book called Let Them by Mel Robbins. I know she's very popular. She's does some lots of podcasts, right? And she's a mom as well like us, and she's very very active in social media with her podcast. And one of the best like line or sentence in the book that that well, one of my favorite line is she says there, if someone doesn't support you or doesn't cheer for you or don't respect your boundaries, let them live. Just let them go.
Yeah.
So that line, exactly, that line captures us. We need to protect our inner peace by letting others are, or even that means go, because they are not, these people, they are not worth keeping with us in our life, right? So let them is kind of mindset shift that teaches us or teaches you to stop wasting our energy trying to control other people, try to please those people, what they think or what they say or what they do, but instead let people be who they are, because we all
Hmm.
have our own personality, we have our own opinions, we respect that, and focus on yourself instead, focus on your goals, and of course protect your peace. Again, it's just all about emotional freedom, clarity, and building a life or maybe a business on your own terms. So that's how simple it is. But yeah, again, if you have the chance, grab this book, even if you're not a business owner, if you are just like an ordinary people, like you want to, about, it's all about positive minds. This is a great tool, this is a great book, and it's very, very, I know it's very powerful book that, yeah, I encourage everyone to grab it. So that's
Yeah,
for
definitely. I love that book. Actually, I haven't finished reading it. I've just started 2 days ago, and then it's already amazing. Okay, let them do whatever they want. Don't let
exactly.
it affect you. And then the later part, it actually says, let me do something to do about it. It's awesome. What about you, Rekha? What's the one of the books that you want to recommend?
Well, out of all those books, I only read four of them, so I'll talk about two of those. The first one I want to share is the Rich Dad Poor Dad. This
Mm,
is one of the first books that completely changed how I think about money. It's a story about two dads. One is rich, one is poor. The poor dad follow the traditional path, go to school, get a job, work hard, and retire. That's a traditional way of thinking. The rich dad had different mindset. He believed in building assets, learning about money, and making money work for you.
Ooh.
Yeah. So one of the lesson that stuck with me for this is it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep and what you do with it. That really stuck in my head,
Wow.
because if you spend whatever you make, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So you got to keep some of the money and do something with it. So before reading this book, I used to really think job was the only way to earn, right? but
mm,
but now I understand the value of building something that brings income, even though if I'm not working, like this digital business,
Yeah.
when I go on vacation, it's still working for me. So this book, it helped me see the importance of thinking like a business owner, not just employee, right? So it is a must read for anybody. I don't read, but I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
I'm in the
you
car,
can multitask, right?
in the gym or whatever. I'm always listening. Even if I'm volunteering at the library, I always listening to something, So always keep yourself motivational. But I need to go back and, listen to all the rest of the books now.
Yeah, it's all really amazing.
Yeah.
So those are the three books we want to recommend first, and then there's another set of three books we want to recommend next. So if you can show the slide. Okay, yeah. So these three, oh my God, I come across these. I'm gonna start off with "Can't Hurt Me." It's by David Goggins. So if you do not know who is David Goggins, oh my goodness, you gotta go read his book or watch one of the podcasts or listen to the podcast. Okay, basically, this book is part of his memoir. It's really mindset training in here because it's his true story, like real story, right? So David Goggins, he went from like a depressed, overweight man to, you to a Navy SEAL. You know how hard, how tough it is to become part of the SEAL, especially when you are like on living on the street, you were overweight, like you can't imagine how he got there. So he shared his journey, right? He went on to be a Navy SEAL, and after that, an ultra and endurance athlete, running ultra marathons and things like that. So it's all about mastering his mental toughness. And then I remember in this book, he introduced this 40% rule, which I apply sometimes, if I remember, to run. Because he says, when your mind says you're done, you are only using 40% of your potential. So when I was running and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to stop. I can't go on anymore. Then I remember that. I'm like, I'm only using 40%. Man, I'm not even using half of whatever strength or stamina that I have. I'm like, let's just keep going. So he pushes the idea of, if you're under pain, you just need to be disciplined and struggle where the growth will begin. So that's my takeaway for this book. Is amazing. And he says like,
Good.
look yourself in the mirror every day and then call out what needs to be changed and then take action. So that's awesome. Got to read it. Yeah.
Ah, that's a great one, Wendy. Again, I didn't read the books, so I need to grab loads of books. Yeah, my second favorite is actually, this is a new one to me. I just got it. It's called By Jay, and I know, I think that was last year. I first saw him on my TikTok. I think TikTok. He's very famous, and I remember him. He's just wearing his like orange robe, because Jay is he used to be a monk, right? And now he is he's as an author, and he's doing lots of podcasts like Mel Robbins. And I remember that the first I saw him on my TikTok, I write down all, because he always say a very, very nice quote. So I jot down all the quotes and I use it for my live in my business page. So I remember that time. So
Nice.
it's very inspiring. And actually, Jay is one of the guests for the convention, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited.
When personally
wait.
meet the convention, yeah. So please take a photo, yeah, and send it to me.
Yeah.
Sadly, I can't come, and I can't. Yeah, maybe one day I would meet him in person.
There will be a replay of
Yes,
the
yeah. So one of the book by Jay is like Think Like a Monk. So again, I have a favorite line. I need to read it because it's quite long. It says, Your identity is a mirror covered with dust. And when you first look in the mirror, the truth of who you are and what you value is obscure." So that's very, very strong quote. And it reminds us that finding clarity and purpose requires slowing down and clearing the mental clutter what we have in our mind and reconnecting with who you really are. And again, this book teaches us how to apply the ancient monk wisdom in everyday life. Monk, they live in a very simple and basic life, and that's all we need. And it shows you to let go of those negative people or all the negativity in your life, live with purpose every day, and lead from a place of inner peace. Again, it's about wisdom, is about our peace. It's very important. Whether you're raising a family or running a business or just trying to stay balanced in your life. And this book as well, you will learn how to detach from toxic thoughts on people, because I know they are everywhere. We are all surrounded with this kind of people every day. And it's always serve others with intention from your heart, and then grow into the best version of yourself all the time, with your mind, body, and spirit. And always remember that it's about success, not just from the outside, but of course, important is from the inside out as well. So we need to remember that. So again, Think Like a Monk and Live Like a Monk by Jay. So another grab that copy as well if you can.
Yeah. Awesome. And then
Yeah.
the last book we're going to share today by Rekha.
Oh, yeah, and I like to thank Brenda for watching, and
Oh, hi,
Oh, hi,
Brenda.
Brenda, and hello, Atelioni. Yep,
Diony.
Uni from
from
Toronto.
Thank
Toronto.
Thanks for
you.
joining us today.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah. So the next book I want to talk about, this is important for everybody, even the housewives, right? Is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is all about small changes that results into big that it leads to big results. It teaches that we don't need to be perfect. We just need to be like 1% better than every day. So if you try to be perfect, you'll not get anywhere. So the one thing I love was the idea of habit stacking. Like if you're drinking coffee in the morning, like I do every day, you can add one small business task right after you drink coffee. So
Oh.
you're building momentum by linking it to something you already do. Like, so it just forms that habit. Another powerful idea is focus on identity. Instead of saying I want to be consistent, you say I'm the kind of person who shows up every day. you know
Mm.
so
Great one. Yeah.
it's small little habits in this book is it leads to so many powerful transformation. So I after reading this book, I've become more consistent in my business. It has helped me build routines for my personal life, like exercising regularly and sticking with it. It's not just exercise one day and then forget about it. So it just all relates to mindset. Like, so if you're somebody who struggles with staying motivated or being consistent, especially in your business, this book is for you. So
Mm.
listen to it or read it. It's really awesome book.
Wow, awesome, awesome, ladies. There's too many books,
I
but also never enough books because we learn something from each of them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, to wrap up this session, I would like to share this quote by Jim Rohn. Well, it says, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And that change begins with what you feed your mind. So, reading books is one way you feed all the positive stuff to your mind. Listening to podcasts, listening to books. So, just just keep that in mind. Read more, gain more knowledge, invaluables. Note them down, write them in your book, and then apply them in life. So that's what we want to share today. Hope you grab something and make sure you watch the replay and take a screenshot of those 15 books that we recommend. All right, with that, thank you, ladies, so much. And don't forget today,
Here's the list again. So
the link again. Yeah, take the screenshot and then go do your research, grab the books and read them. And today is Tuesday, so it's our webinar day. So if you are, so we are all digital business owners. Yeah. And this digital business is for everybody. If you are curious about it, just look at our website, register your name and email address, and you'll get a personal link to watch your 90 minutes free workshop. And if you can't catch them live today, you can always watch the replay. All right. So with that, thank you,
see you,
ladies.
ladies. See you next week.
See you
Bye.
next week.
Happy reading, everybody. Enjoy your books.
Bye.